So, what is Conversations with Coryelle all about? It's a weekly series on a wide variety of topics, from the metaphysical to the philosophical, from the erotic to the exotic, from the mystical to the spiritual. It's all about showing you how to enhance your life. And I'll also be showing you ways on how you can enhance your animals' lives too. I'll be joined by host Kevin McDonald. I'm happy to have you here. Now let's have a conversation.
And let's have a conversation with my good friend, Coryelle Kramer. She's over there in the southwestern United States. Is it hot there?
It's been blue skies, which is normally fine because you usually have a breeze, but it's been blue skies, no clouds, no wind.
Yeah, it was 90 here yesterday. And 90 is about 10, 15 degrees hotter than we would like to see it here. And so my little body just it was watering all day long. So, just one of those things. So anyway, we're here with Coryelle Kramer. She is an extraordinary animal healer and a people healer, and she works with the people in all sorts of different ways. And go to her website, which is CoryelleKramer.com. Gosh, after all this time, I'm actually learning all this stuff. Isn't that cool? And she is just phenomenal. And today we're going to talk about something that is a mystery to me, but happens to her and on a regular basis. And the more she gets into it, the more it happens to her. And so we're going to talk about divine downloads. And I'm not even sure what that means exactly. What does that mean exactly?
It's pretty much just, what it sounds like. It's information that comes from divine spirit, your guides, your messengers, spirit guides, ascended masters. I don't know. It comes from a wide variety of places. It just, it is information. This is the way that I've come to understand it. It's information that under normal circumstances you would not be privy to. It's right. Not like you're downloading, or you're getting information about stuff you pretty much already know. It's stuff this is the way it's been for me. It's been, downloads of information that you just wouldn't know. So for example, when I was doing Star Child readings, this is where I would connect to a person, find out if they had Star Child lineage, and what their people are, who they were, everything from their judicial system to their spirituality, to what they eat, to the way that their architecture looked. Massive amounts of information would just come down into me and get downloaded from wherever. I would just open myself up to spirit and I would get this information that I would not normally know. And just see things. I mean, it would usually when you get a download, the information comes in so quickly, your conscious mind can't keep up. There's no way that you can make this stuff up. This is what I like to say. I can't make this shit up. I can't. So I would get stuff like from your people that I just never connected to before. And it would just come in so quickly. So that's where I get the download from. So that's an example. The other thing is, I downloaded, like a few months ago, I downloaded different touches, which I called the chakra touches,
right?
Which I'm about to get copyrighted. But the chakra touches are this immense different ways that you can touch and realign the chakras instantaneously with different touches.
So is it like this is kind of how I picture it. It's like you have an assembly of folks and they're gathered around a round table kind of thing. And then they're discussing you and they're discussing where you are, where you're going. And then they assemble the information that you need next in order for you to take the next step on your journey. Is that kind of how it works?
I guess. I mean, I I don't consciously see it as something like that. It's just 1 minute the information is not there. The next second the information is there. It's like this portal or gateway of information that just comes through and comes down into my brain. And I know it sounds crazy, but this is the way a lot of channeling. You want to think of it as channeling? Think of it as channeling. Channeling information as opposed to channeling an entity, which is like what Abraham and Esther Hicks does for Abraham. It's just which is something I used to do too, but now I don't do that anymore. I just open myself up to whatever. It's not like I'm consciously doing it either. A lot of these downloads, they come at like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
Which is darn inconvenient if you're trying to sleep and you're getting a download that you can't.
But it's fun though. It's fun. It's like it's life changing. It's like when I got all these star children lineage, and I have I recorded all these different civilizations that I was getting, the chakra touches, even to a certain extent the animal dynamics. That to a certain extent that was a download too. In fact, it's like it's not so much always information, it's maybe how you utilize something that is coming into your life. Right. That can be a download too. It's guidance and information.
Well, what I keep seeing is that and since I've known you for a year and a half now, it's like it's in an orderly fashion. This is what you need next. So this is the download that you get, because they're paying attention to what you need and when you need it and when you're able to absorb it and use it.
Right. It's divine timing as well, I think. So in order if I got the chakra touches before I did the animal dynamics and the shadow healing, it wouldn't have made sense.
Right.
Because I would have been like, okay, what am I supposed to do with that? When I did the emotional body, when I got that emotional body, that additional healing that I do. So now what I do is I do the physical body. I heal the physical body and scan the physical body. Then I go into the emotional body, which is very close to your physical body. It's this body that's just outside your skin. Then I go into the chakras, and then I go into the shadows, which is the auric field. So that's outside your body.
But you got all of that in that order, because I remember you were doing the animal dynamics, and suddenly you had a download, and you came to the realization about the shadow work and how deep you had to go. And you're right, it wouldn't have made sense had you gotten that first, but you got everything else, and then they said, okay, now to go deeper, that's what we need to do.
Yeah. It really is about trusting and just understanding that all this stuff is coming in when it's supposed to. You can't force this. You can't force a download. I mean, maybe you could try. I can't, because the more that I'm aware I'm trying, the more I kind of like think of it like a pipe. So the more I'm clogging up the pipe, the more you try, the more you got to just allow it to happen, which is one of the reasons why I did the show last week on meditation. So meditation is a great way to open yourself up to it. It's about tuning your body, your mind, your spirit to the higher vibrations, which is divine. And that's the way that you do it. Prayer is talking to God, and meditation is listening.
Right.
That's the way I think of it anyway.
How do you, because I was talking yesterday about hypnosis, and he was having trouble with a person that could not get into hypnosis because her brain was going. How do you set aside your brain and put your thoughts over here so that it provides a clear channel for you to get what you need? because that's a skill all by itself.
It could, yeah, it is. It could be. You have to, like I said before, you have to get yourself used to putting the conscious mind in the back of the bus, so to speak, so that the unconscious mind and the openness and the willingness and the open-minded right side of the brain is driving the bus. So how do you do it? You do it by, you could start easily. You could try to meditate if you want to. If that feels like it's too much of a leap, then doing, connecting at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, or early on, just when you first wake up, when your conscious mind is not really in the driver's seat, you're still just waking up. That's a great time to do it too. But it's like you have to get yourself understanding when you're tapped in so that you can know when you're tapped in, so that is also your confirmation. What I mean by that is that when you feel that connection, that feeling of really and truly being tapped in, when your conscious mind is coming in and when you're tapped in. And when you're tapped in, you're able to then just stream whatever you need to at that moment, but you got to be able to differentiate between the two, because if not, you're going to be fighting the conscious mind all the time.
Right. And does it feel different for you? Do you physically feel a difference when you're downloading?
Oh yeah. It's actually a lot of fun. I get this like giddiness almost. It's like, holy crap. It's like, it's big, it's huge. When I'm downloading, it's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's this thrill. Love you guys too. Love you too, Kayla. I'm pretty sure that's Kayla, right?
I don't know. We're going through, yeah. So, and this person says they need a stop button. At least she does. Do you command that, or you just let it go?
I just let it go. I just let it go because I don't want to put the brakes on it. I want to be able to get it. The download is again like a computer. Okay. Downloading an application. Now, the computer doesn't want to stop in the middle of downloading the application. Wants to download all the application, the full application, and then install it. I don't want it drips and drabs. I want the whole enchilada. I want that big old taco. Give me the big old taco. Okay?
Now, do you have? I love big old tacos, especially at 3 o'clock in the morning. Do you have something by your bed, like a pad and paper by your bed, so that?
God no. I tried that. Now there are some people that can write and they can make sense out of it the next morning. I learned really early on. I have my Kindle by my bed, which has a recording device on it. So if there's stuff that comes in, and God knows, my assistant Karen has listened to some of these recordings at 3 o'clock in the morning and transcribed them. So thank God, because I have that recording device, because if I tried writing stuff down, first off, it's coming so fast, I can't get it down. But second of all, it's coming so fast that I'm writing, and on a good day, my handwriting is a shit show. Okay. So on a really good day. So imagine what it's like when I'm like at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's no. Seinfeld, there was an episode on Seinfeld once where Jerry wrote down this joke, and he thought it was the best joke in the world. Okay, he's laughing as he writes it, and then he goes back to sleep. And then the next morning, he looks at the Post-it note, and it says hamburger and cheese, and he can't understand what it means. And it's like the best joke ever, and he's taking it to everybody. Nobody can make sense out of it. So that's what would happen with me.
So how do you remember it all though? Do you then after you've had the download, do you process it in your mind like a computer taking the download and then you click on it and you open it up? Are you then staying up for a while to process it to make sure you don't forget it?
To a certain extent, yes, or I'm recording it on my device. So I don't miss it. I don't lose it. But when it's a big download, like let's say the animal dynamics or the chakra touches or the emotional body, basically that gets almost solidified in my mind because I know that I have to keep it. I know that this is something I'm going to be actively using. But stuff like the Star Child lineages, I have so many of those recordings. And then I was downloading, I was getting, I was also getting, visitations from different, different kinds of star entities. And I would record what I was getting with that. That's more like, there's a difference. It's like that flows in, through, and out. That doesn't, I can't, I would have to physically go back and listen to those recordings. Some I remember, the gist, I remember some of that. But a lot of the times when I'm channeling it for somebody else, it's not my information to keep. So I'll channel it and then give it to that person in a reading. And then, it's you want to keep it, that's on you.
Have you ever thought about why they picked you? Is it because of your gift and your openness? Because I'll give you an example. The shadow work that was downloaded to you was something that I've been doing this a while, and it's something that I have never heard that way, put that way by anyone, of what it is, how to get to it, how to release it, how to do all of that stuff. You're the only person I've ever heard be able to do it and to put it in those terms. But why? Well, why did they choose you? Is it because you're open to
it? You asked the question I've been asking. I stopped asking that question a long time ago. Why me? Why me? Why not me?
Well, exactly.
Why not me? It's like, I don't know. Is it because I'm so open to it? Possibly. I've always been very, thank you. I've always been very open since I was a kid. It's one of the things about I'm a Sagittarius. So, and I don't know what's rising or what's lowering or whatever. I don't know. I don't care. But part of we Sagittarius, we love, finding stuff out. A lot of us love change, depending on what's going on with you. But Sagittarius is a lot of us love change. We love to explore and knowledge and, all this kind of stuff. And that's textbook for me. So I'm always open to it. I figure, why not? I mean, maybe it's because there could be a lot of reasons, but I think it's because I'm open to it. I'm always looking to expand and explore. And I think also it's in my life plan, my life purpose this time around. I'm supposed to bring this information to the world. That's what's in my soul plan, my life plan, my soul plan.
That's pretty significant when you put it that way. But then that can be something in your life plan that you helped write before you were born. That was part of what's happening now in our environment. That we need people like you to provide us with some insight into some of these things that are out there. So it's great that you're doing this, and your work with animals. The dynamics are just amazing. The help that you're getting there and stuff. So it really is interesting. I just now, do you ever have stuff like in the shower come forward for you, or is it mostly at 3:00 in the morning?
I haven't gotten a shower thing. It's usually oh God, when like the chakra touches, jeez, I can't even remember how those came in. The emotional body came in during a session where kind of like the shadow, and I got pulled to this part of this animal's this I believe it was a cat. Yeah, I think it was Naya. So I got pulled into to healing her emotional body, whereas before I didn't even see it. It was kind of like the auric field when I was healing that with the shadows. I got pulled into that. It's just all of a sudden it's just there. So it's like, and that happened when I was sitting here at my desk. You know, it doesn't always have to. Sometimes it's nature. Sometimes I'm in nature. It's wherever you're pretty much just grounded and open through your chakra. My crown and my third eye usually are really tingling. Maybe it's my heart chakra is really, really open. But you know, it's like it's in general. I think that's why I'm saying it's so important for you to get to know what it feels like when you're really tapped in, because that's when you can then say, okay, universe, give it to me. I'm ready. Boom. You know, I'm ready for whatever you want to share with me. And then you don't even have to try. If you, I mean, you can try, but if you know when you're really not tapped in, then don't even try it. Don't set yourself up for failure. Set yourself up for success.
Oh, exactly. So it's kind of like I equate it to I've always had this, and ever since I started in 2003 doing radio, there would be moments where I would just it's like I get into some kind of a flow. I don't understand it, how it works, but it's in a flow so that I can create the conversation and ask the questions that I had no idea I was going to ask before I asked them.
Mhm.
Is that kind of it?
I would say so. Again, a download to me technically is whenever you're privy to information that would not normally be there, be accessible to you. So whether that's questions, whether that's information about, you know, what you're supposed to be doing in life, whether it's channeling or doing, you know, doing oracle cards or tarot cards, if you're allowing yourself to really and truly be into the flow of getting that information, that message from that card, then you're in the flow. It doesn't matter what you do. When I paint the soul pieces, like the piece behind me is my orange ginger's soul piece. So, you know, I can't do that. I can't paint a soul piece on demand. This is why I tell people on my website, I tell you, don't, if you want it for a certain date, don't get a soul piece, because I don't know if I can make it for that date. Okay, a piece comes to me when the inspiration, when I get the inspiration, the download of what that piece looks like. I can't force it. The more I force it, the worse it's going to be.
Because your brain gets involved.
Brain gets involved, starts questioning, starts doubting, and then you're not in the flow. If there's doubt at all, you're not in the flow. Questioning is different. Questioning's like, you know, what am I supposed to be doing in my life, universe? But I'm not doubting that you're going to give me the answer.
See, and that is, I think that's happening a lot more than it used to. I told you before we got on the air that I was talking. I did an interview with my dad in the early 2000s, and the type of people that were populating the world 50 years ago, 75 years ago, they were working to the, you know, working for 30 years in a particular place and keeping their nose to the grindstone, and that's what they did. People are changing. People want to know, why am I here? What is it about? And what am I supposed to do? How can I be of service to mankind? There seem to be more and more of us around doing that. Do you agree?
I do agree. I think that's one of the things that the gifts that COVID gave us, you know, forcing us to really get real with who we are. You know, why am I here? It took away the bullshit.
Yeah.
It took away the outside, having the commute. You're spending more time at home. You're spending more time alone. You had to start getting real with yourself. I think that's one of the gifts that we had. It took away the outside, well, aside from Netflix and Hulu, it took away the outside, influence. It took away the stuff that was, don't put your attention here, put it over here. The distractions. It took away a lot of distractions.
I agree. And so when you're downloading and you finish up, and is there a giddiness that comes over you? I think you said that earlier, that there was is it like a communion with somebody that is in the room with you? You just can't see it. It's like, have you ever had one of those really deep, dark discussions? Not dark, but deep discussions with somebody that you're really getting into what's going on with the two of you, and it's almost a spiritual experience. And so you experience that, getting the downloads, and they make you feel good. Yeah.
Of course, because you're getting all this information, and it's like, ooh, it's good stuff. This is good. And it starts making, it clicks, and it fits together kind of like Lego, and you're like, oh my God, this is another piece. Just when I thought this couldn't get any better, I got another piece, and it's even better.
It fits.
It's like, oh my God, it fits. Boom. And it's just so much fun. It really is. So, but you got to get out of your own way in order for it to come through. So, it sounds stupid, but doing stuff like hydration, drinking a lot of water, cleansing your body out, what you put in, you usually get out. You can't, the other stuff, alcohol, drugs. Not that I'm against anything. I'm not. Do what you want to do. But the most intense downloads I've ever gotten, I was stone cold sober.
Yeah.
I did not need any drugs, didn't need no alcohol in order to get it going. It was stone cold sober.
It's interesting because that's not a requirement. And actually, in fact, I believe that alcohol and drugs and other things that are not good for you actually retards your ability to accept the downloads.
Yeah, it's a filter, and I want to be unfiltered.
Right. And it's awfully hard to set your brain aside. But I wanted to ask you, how about your ego? How does your ego fit into?
Oh, I love my ego. Now stop. That was the first session. That was the first show we ever did. There's a difference between ego and hubris. There's a difference between owning your shit and humble and arrogant. I own my shit. I own it. I was like the good, the bad, the ugly. All the facets of me I own. And here's the thing is that I do this. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else because I get these downloads. This is for me. This was my life purpose. Everybody can get their own downloads and have like amazing experiences and download whatever the hell you want to download. It doesn't make me better than you. It just makes me different, unique. And that's okay. That's owning what I do. That's owning who I am. That's seeing these amazing gifts and not dumbing them down and humbling them. Oh, so yeah, it's okay. The chakra touches are okay. No, the chakra touches are kick-ass. All right. The auric field healing of the shadows is kick-ass. I own that because that's the gift that I was given by God or goddess or Harry or Buddha or, Jesus or whatever the heck you want to call it.
Bob.
Bob.
No,
Bob.
Slight joke. But no, I get it. I get it. And you see, in your case, if you didn't have a good, healthy ego, you could not do what you do.
Right. I wouldn't be doing what I do. You
Is
know,
this why I don't want to
I can't make these animal dynamics out of the whatever. I can't. No.
Yeah.
You know, it's incredible work. Nobody else is doing it. I'm the only one doing it. Well, now I'm mentoring. I've mentored one person in the animal dynamics. So now there's two of us. But I'm the originator of them. Nobody's doing this. And it is kick-ass work.
You're so bold. I love it. Keep that shit up. And,
Kayla. No, but it's true. It's true. I mean, it's just, this is the thing. You know, people think they're so, and this is what I was talking about in the first show that we ever did. Okay. The ego is there for a reason. We have it for a reason. But just like anything else, we have anger for a reason. It's what you do with it, though.
That's right.
It's what you do with it. That makes it what it is, whether it's good, whether it's bad, or whether it's interesting. I don't know. But that's what we have it for a reason. So why are we always so, we're going off on a tangent, but why are we always so with the bigger bugaboo and the you know, calling the ego the bad guy? I don't believe in that. I just don't. But that's it.
I don't either. There are things in your life that you cannot do if you didn't believe in yourself and have a strong belief and that your ego is healthy. And I think you're right. I think the difference between ego and hubris are two different things. And hubris really isn't real anyway, is it? Isn't that just you making stuff up?
Yeah, I mean that's you not really owning your shit. It's kind of like you you know, it's when you're pretending that you believe in yourself when you really don't.
Right.
You're
Right.
pretending that you have self-worth when you really don't.
That's right. You know, and one of the things that we all do, not we all, but a lot of us do, is we have a terrible time accepting a compliment about the work that we do, about the things that we're doing. When somebody says, I got to tell you, you are the best at what you do in the world. And the easiest thing to say is, well, you know, I don't know. Well, thanks. But, you know, rather than owning like you said earlier, owning your shit in saying, listen, I work very hard at this and I am very, very good at what I do. And so there and thank you for the compliment.
Right. So just say thank you. Don't change the subject. Sit with it. Sit with it. When somebody, and I understand, I used to do this. I talked about this a few shows when we were talking about self-deprivation, which what I used to do was somebody would say something to me, give me a compliment, and I'd be like, that's aw. Okay, so anyway, this is what's going on with me and spewing stuff because I didn't believe it. I had such self-hate and self-criticism that it was like low self-esteem for me was a step up. So I get it. I understand. But the hardest thing is sitting with it. Thank you. That means a lot.
It does.
You know?
It does when you get it. And that also, I think, plays into your ability to accept your downloads. Because if you didn't believe in yourself and believe that you were capable of doing it and understanding it, you wouldn't do it. It wouldn't be as nearly as effective as it is.
No, it wouldn't be true. It wouldn't be, it would be, it'd be like a little message. But then again, we're talking about like what I was talking about before about the computer wanting to download that entire app and install it. You know, you can't do half download. It's not, you know, and then say, wait a minute, I'm going to put the brakes on this. You know, it's like you can, but why? because you might not get it again. Now, I'm not saying it won't come. If it's divine, it'll probably come again to you, but just might as well get the whole, why are you going to nibble on a piece of steak and just have a little piece of steak when you want the whole damn thing?
Exactly. And it's interesting because the impact that you have on other people that you may know or may not know.
Mhm.
And because of this podcast, there are people that are going to be impacted in a positive way that you will never meet. And that is a hell of a responsibility, but it also is really cool that you're able to make that work for yourself, because you've got to understand, it's like Kayla, 6-8 months ago, she didn't believe that she was anywhere near where she is, and now I'm beginning to call her a spiritual badass. She's taking your model and she's adapting it to herself, which is a different personality, but she is accepting the fact that we all have gifts.
Mhm.
And if we allow it to be within our being, then we can explore those gifts and we can grow them.
Absolutely.
Unless you believe that you can't, and then you won't. Right?
You get what you put into life. If you're half-assed, you get half-assed results. If you're muddling your connection to divine and to spirit, then you get muddled results. If you're, there are some times that I'm really connected. I'm really tapped in. There are other times that I want to decompress. So I binge watch Netflix, watch Lupin, which is a great show if you haven't seen it. Great show on Netflix. Oh my God, it's French. Awesome. So cool. So I watch that or something else. And I just want to, I don't want to be open. I'm not open 24/7. I'm not 7-Eleven.
Yes. Well, I understand. Well, it's like yesterday, you needed to decompress, have a day. And so you went and got a massage. You took care of your body. You relaxed, and then you watched Netflix, and you said, "Screw it, I'm not working today."
Right.
And that's got to be that's important.
It is. It definitely is. It definitely is, because if you don't, you can be as open as you want. People think that you got to be open to spirit all the time. You don't have to be. You make the decisions. You put up the boundaries that you want to put up. And there are some times that in the beginning I felt like I had to be. When I first reconnected to my abilities, I thought I had to be open 24/7. Getting dead spirits, dead people coming in 2:00 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning, trying to help me, wanting me to solve their murder and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, so the download is different. The download is, if this is information spirit or divine wants me to have, I will be open to it.
Well, and we've said it before, but there's some people that have joined since we got started. But the information that you're getting is happening in a very orderly fashion, based upon the needs that you have at that moment. And it's like you're building a building, and it's one block at a time, and you're putting them all together, and they're feeding you that information as you need it for the next step.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can't, that's why it's like, I don't know what the next thing is going to be.
No, that's not.
I don't know what avenue. It's like going into Costco. Okay. But going into Costco, like blind, I have no idea what aisle I'm going to be in next. I don't know what else is going to come up, but I'm just like, I just say to Devine, whatever you need, whatever you think I need to know, just give it to me.
Well, it's interesting. I wanted to give Karen a shout out because she is your assistant, and I know that when you get downloads and stuff, you say here, fix it and transcribe it and stuff. She does a really nice job for you and putting it all together so that you can keep it in an orderly fashion. So as it grows bit by bit, you know what you're doing.
Yeah, that, and also the fact that, it's probably going to end up being a book. So we need to, thank God for Karen, because I can't do all this stuff on top of everything else. A lot of stuff would be lost. I think a lot of stuff, it would be lost. And she's also got a great, she remembers stuff better than I do, because it's a lot of the stuff is happening so fast that I'll miss it if I don't record it in some way, shape, or form.
Exactly. Well, it's because just number one, it's happening at 3:00 in the morning, and it's hard for you to be 100%, wide-eyed and bushy-tailed when at 3:00 in the morning when you're coming out of it. Now, do you come out of like a dead sleep and then all of a sudden you start getting this download, or is it kind of a gradual thing?
I'm just trying to remember. Usually this happens. Usually it happens either before I go to sleep or as I'm just waking up. Because I turn a lot in my bed. So when I turn, sometimes I wake up just enough and they're able to slip some stuff in as I'm turning, and then I'm wide awake. So it's depending. However, this is why I'm saying it's really important for you to get to know when you're connected and when you're not. Get that feeling of when you're tapped in and when you are not, so that you can become more aware of getting yourself tapped in to divine.
And it feels different for you.
It feels like, we've all felt this, like, I guess you would call it in the zone, feeling where you're in a flow. You're flowing and you're going, and then when you're overthinking shit, at least I do. I mean, I know when I'm overthinking things too much, and when I'm in a flow. And usually when I'm in the flow, I'm not really aware of my thinking. I'm not thinking, I'm flowing. So my brain is just, it's just, that's the best way to describe it. When your brain is flowing. We all have creative juices inside us. We all have creative. So think about when you've created something, whether it's a poem or whether it's a painting or whether it's a sculpture or whether it's coloring book or I don't know, whatever. When you're creating something that is, and it's really going for you, that's when that's the tap in. That's when you're really connected to divine. When we're being creative, that's usually when we are the most connected. So think about that. Remember what that feeling felt like. And then remember what it felt like when you were studying for the SATs or studying for a geography exam in elementary school. And then you'll feel the difference. She's got a wand.
And she carved it herself.
Okay. I made my own wand too.
Yeah, see? See, for me it was like when I was in high school and I played football, there was times when I don't know how I knew, but I knew what play was coming and where I needed to be and how to do it. And that was the first inkling that I had that I had some kind of extra. The coach even told me, he said, I don't know how you do that from where you're playing and stuff. So but it was in the flow. It was
Instant.
absolutely in the flow
Yeah.
of life, of everything, and you're tapped into it, and it works. And that can be when you're right, when you're creating, when you're doing a podcast, when you're talking to a group of people, and you're in front of a group of people, and you feel you're in the flow. There's no fear.
Right.
There's a lot of I've got this. I know what I'm doing, and I'm depending upon the divine to help me through it. And it always does if you
Always.
keep your friggin' head out of the game.
Mm-hmm. Always. And it usually always ends up great.
Yeah. Better than you thought it would be.
Better than you thought it would be. Absolutely.
And
That's manifestation, getting out of your own way to get divine to bring you what you want. But you got to get out of your own way and you got to get out of the way of divine, so you can't block it up with doubt. I don't think it's coming. I don't think it's coming. I don't think so. I'm not sure. You can't doubt yourself. I don't know if I'm worthy of this. I just don't think I'm worthy of this. No. You're worthy. You're worthy. You're worthy already. For the love of God, you're worthy. just stop. It's enough. You're worthy. I promise.
The people you work with a lot and over the years, do you have to continually remind them that they are a divine spirit having a human experience?
No.
Oh, that's good.
I don't do that. I'll do it for a little bit. But then after a while, I'm not going to allow you to call yourself stupid in front of me. Oh, stupid. I can't believe that. Don't say that. Don't call my friend that. I'll tell them that. I'd say that to myself too, because sometimes I slip. Oh God, I can't believe I did that. That was so dumb. Stop calling myself that. Okay.
Because you're not dumb. It's just a matter of it's an experience that you haven't had yet. And then once you have it, then you are not going to repeat it.
It's a nice way of thinking about it.
Because it's and we were talking before the show. Have I had an experience? But I've learned from it, and it's part of the growth process.
And you might do it again. And again, it's like, okay, whoops.
Yep. It's like I have trouble with sometimes I trust people too much, but I refuse to not trust people. Because then I get cynical. Right. And when you're cynical and you can't trust people, you're going to miss some nuggets of some wonderful things and some wonderful people that are out there. And you're going to say, no, that can't be true because the last guy screwed me. So this guy is going to screw me as well. If you take that attitude, you know what? You're going to get screwed.
Yeah, because you get what you put into it. You achieve what you believe. What you believe, you achieve. Whatever you want to call it. However you want to twist it up, I don't care. But it's just, that's what you believe is what you achieve, because there's no coincidences. Stuff can't happen without your permission, your vibrational permission, whether that's whatever that may be. So, it's important so maybe it's important to start believing the good stuff.
We've only got a couple of 3 minutes, or about what do we got? About 10 minutes left, yeah. So a little bit less. But give us, how do you or let me ask you, do you consciously raise your vibration? And if you don't, how do you learn? If somebody's saying, I want to raise my vibration, how do you teach people to naturally raise their vibration to a higher level so that they can get what they want on an easier level?
Watch the last episode on meditation. I gave so many tips on how you don't have to sit there unless you want to. That's your thing. Great. Okay. Listen to music. Watch uplifting shows. Turn off the news. Stop reading the newspaper unless that makes you happy. If it makes you happy, great. It does not make me happy. So I don't do that, but that's me. Okay. Who do you have around you? Who are the people that you have around you? Are they uplifters? Or are they like not uplifters? Are they in the solution, or are they also always in the problem? Oh, this is awful. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, this is awful and terrible. Oh, the pandemic's awful. It's like, you know something? I understand people were dying. I get it. I understand. Thank God I didn't have anybody close to me die. Thank God. I'm blessed and I'm grateful. Absolutely grateful. Okay. But the pandemic was also the best year of my life. In business, the best. The best financially, my business was took off like a rocket out of hell. So I don't, I can't. So watch the last episode. Be picky about the words you use when you describe yourself, the people you have around you, the shows you watch, the things you listen to, because that all will mess with your vibration. I'm extremely picky. Be picky about Facebook. Unfollow people who are in the problem and not in the solution. My news feed is positive as hell. Why? Because I took the time to follow only people that are in the solution.
Right.
And I unfollow, not unfriend, I said unfollow. I unfollow those who are not. Doesn't make them bad people. It just makes them, vibrationally not somebody I'm lined up with. And then I unfriended a lot of people that when I looked at their profile pictures, did not feel so happy, joyous, and free to me.
Exactly.
One person I wanted to throat punch every single time I looked at his photograph. That's not good. And I was keeping him around because just in case, maybe, whatever, something might come of it. And I'm like,
nope, can't do that. So you just walk away from it, and you do an incredible job of always being positive, uplifting, but you're also very real, and that's what part of your charm is that you are really real about stuff, and you don't sugarcoat stuff. I appreciate that about you. And when you work with people, you don't sugarcoat it. If they're not doing their homework, you'll tell them you're not doing your homework. What are we doing here?
Right. Why are you wasting my time? Don't waste my time. I don't take on anybody as a client unless I know that they're going to be doing the home play. I don't say homework. I hate the word homework. So I call it home play. And unless you're going to be doing the home play, go find somebody else.
Yes.
I'm not going to be doing this work. I do my job and I do it very, 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 very well. Okay, but I can't do the other half. The other half, you're with your animal. You want your animal to change, you got to put in the work.
And the results will be there if you put in the work.
If we all work together, the results will be amazing. But it'd be flying like it's like you could fly with two wings. You can't fly with one wing, you go in a circle. You go in a circle. People are always asking me, oh, Coryelle, why do you have two wings? Because if I had one wing, I'd be flying in a circle. I want to soar, baby. We're soaring.
And indeed you are. We've been talking with Coryelle Kramer. Go to CoryelleKramer.com. Just real quick, Coryelle, if there's anything that you would like to add, talk to our audience about what's on your heart at this moment.
No, I just want people to understand that it's okay not to always be okay, but do what you can to get yourself back into the stance of being okay as soon as you can. Because the longer you're in that vibrational stance of something wrong or something that lower vibration, the harder it is to climb out. So you want to dip. Ideally, it's like an EKG machine. You want to dip. You don't want to, you don't want to be straight because that's death. But you want to be able to have this up and down, up and down, up and down. But up, raise yourself up as much as you can. Stay up as much as you can, so that when you dip down, you don't dip down that low. You can just go, oh, I know what that feels like,
Yep.
So just achieve what you want to achieve, what you want to believe, what you want to achieve, and know you're worthy.
And if you'd like a different perspective, the next gal that is going to be up is Dana Parker, and she's going to be on. She's working with the Inner World Movement, and she's developing a seminar that is going to be in the fall, and she's going to be on right after we're done with this broadcast. So this is kind of cool. I get uplifted. See, Coryelle, the reason I do this is that because you guys uplift me more than anything in the world, and it just makes my day so much better.
Oh, thank you.
And I appreciate who you are. So go to CoryelleKramer.com, get all the information you need there about working with her and doing some extraordinary work, because you're worth it. Coryelle, thank you. Hey, and thanks for listening to this episode all the way to the end. Hey, pretty cool. Hey, don't forget to follow us so you can receive regular updates and new posts. And remember, take care of each other, because each other's all we've got. See you next time on My Independence Report.